Good morning. So here is the stash of mowers that I picked up yesterday, and we'll have a quick look at them and see what we can do with them. Try this again. As I started talking, the air conditioner kicked in and made a lot of noise. So that's got a bit of rust, but I think I can bend that back and get it back in. The next one is also pretty much exactly the same one. It's just I think a slightly older model, but also 6 3/4 horse, 149 cc's. I can see some rust on the front of the deck there, and the handle, one of the handles came out, but it's lying there. The cable that powers the drive and the motor. This is another one. It's a little 20-inch Briggs & Stratton 300E, 125 cc. I think it's probably a 3 horse or something like that. That is completely rusted. The whole wheel has just come off. So what I'll do is I'll salvage that engine and whatever I can of the wheels and the bar and that sort of thing. Over here we have another push mower. This is a little Craftsman 140 cc 5.5 foot-pounds gross torque, so they're not doing horsepower on it. But this one is actually looking really good and really clean. It actually still has its original factory sticker on, and we'll just see if we flip it over. Oh yeah, that's looking really good under there. And if I can get that one going, it's a nice small compact little one. It does get a grass catching bag that you can put on, and I think I'll get that running. And then we have this old chap. This used to be a ride-on mower, but the mower deck's gone. It originally came with a 18.5 horsepower overhead valve motor, Briggs & Stratton, but right now it has a Craftsman 12.5. So someone's been messing with it, playing with it. It's got a flat tire on this side, and the seat's gone to heck. It's been messed up and buggered up. The steering, that wheel is looking nice and straight, and then that one's all cockeye and kittywampus. But it does have the nice little oil drain that's been added on, so that's a nice thing. This one's not a big priority, but I do want to see if I can just get the motor running and put some air in that tire and see if I'd like to try and build a little yard tractor to see if I can use that to pull the boat trailer up and down. Every time I cut the grass, I've got to move the boat trailer, and it's getting pretty heavy. So those are what we got. I think I'll pull that Craftsman in first and give that a quick go. I think that's probably the one that's going to have the most success. Or I might just take the other one that's all rusted and just salvage all of that stuff first. I'll see. I'll bring you guys back. Alrighty, I've taken the first lawnmower apart, the one that was just completely messed up, unsalvageable. I've got the bits and pieces. I'll show you real quick. Well, that's what it is. This whole corner is just completely rusted out. Another great big hole at the back there. That's not going to do anything. It's just a complete mess. So I've taken a whole bunch of pieces off that I might be able to use. First of all is the motor, or should I say the engine. The motor's electric. That's off. It's actually looking like it's in pretty good condition, and it did turn over when I pulled on the string. And then here I've got the 4 wheels and the blade. The blade there's a big piece missing there and a big piece missing there, but the attachment chuck and all the hardware, the bits and pieces, they're all there. And like I said, who knows, I might be able to use some of that stuff. I'm going to put it in a crate, and we'll keep that going in the spare parts bin. And then next up, the inspectors have arrived. Hello. Hello. Next up is going to be that one, the little Craftsman. It's got looks like a dog leash on it, holding where the grass catcher would go open. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it set up and put the camera on a tripod, and let's see if we can go through that one together and from start to finish, and let's see what we find. Hi. Let's see if we can just get a little bit better going for you guys. I do have the fan on right now because it's really hot in here. I've got you on a tripod. The temperature is in the mid-30s inside the workshop. I've got a, let's see if I can do this with a big tripod. I've got that big fan running. I just hope that it doesn't make too much noise for you guys. And I'm just going to see if I can get this into the picture nicely. I need to turn it on. There we go. Alrighty. Yeah, that looks like it. I've got my assistant. So this is basically what I attempt to do, is get a machine running. Let's just get rid of the dog leash first. No, it's not Maggie's, it's a pink one. Maggie never wears pink because she's a tough girl. Alright, so the first thing I want to check is if there's actually any spark. So let's get the spark plug off and see if we have any spark going. Alrighty, I have the first problem. That ain't gonna work. The spark plug's broken off, but that's not a big problem. I've got a couple of other mowers that I'm sure will have a very similar or the same spark plug, so we'll get it sorted out. There's the piece stuck in there. So that may have been the reason that people stopped using it. Who knows? Alright, but we'll just carry on. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this off. This is going to be the cover, and it also joins onto the pull string, because I don't have the energy to stand here and pull and pull and pull, and at the same time try and see if there's a spark going or not. That's that out of the way, and then I'll just get a screwdriver and clear that out. There's a bunch of old grass stuck in there. That's the nut. We'll just get some air and blow that out there real quick. Alrighty, that was just the compressor kicking in. So as luck would have it, in my stash, let's see, I don't know if you'll be able to read that. They're both RC12YC Champion spark plugs, one out of my stash. It's a used one. Got it out of a mower that wasn't going to work again. So let's have a look here. Plug that in. We're going to stick that over there. And then remember, this has got to kill the moment you release the handle up top. It grounds the spark out. So now let's see what size that was. I've got a feeling it's a, yep. I'm just getting a couple of bits and pieces together here. Very ill prepared for this, but there we go. So that's why I took the cover off, is I'm going to use my driver to spin the motor and see if there's spark. I don't know if you can see, we're watching over there. Okay, we've got some spark. Let's see if I can zoom you guys in. Where are we at? There it is. Oh, sorry, this is a little bit difficult for me. There we go. Right over there. I don't know if you guys could see that, but we do have spark. So that's a great thing. We'll put the spark plug back in. I really hope that the fan that I have on is not destroying the audio on this video. But without the fan, it's absolutely impossible to be inside here right now. It's just too hot. We'll put the spark plug back in. We know the engine turns. We know that there's spark. So now, our next step is, that's the air filter. Let me take you guys back out again. Let me see what I'm doing. There we are. I got a new tripod so that I can make this better for you guys, but it seems to be making life a little bit more difficult and complicated. But we'll figure it out. Alright. Alright, so this is just some normal petrol. It's got a little bit of two-stroke oil in it. Yes, I know, that's a four-stroke. But the two-stroke oil will just help to lubricate it, seeing as it hasn't run in a while. So we'll just open up the choke. We'll give it just a quick squirt like that of petrol. She's going to work. She's going to run. So what I'll do now is I'm going to get the carburetor apart, just take the bowl off and see if it's clean or not. And if it's clean, we'll put it back together and give it some petrol. If it's dirty, I'm going to get it up into the ultrasonic cleaner and get it cleaned up. I'll bring you guys back. Okay. I had a quick listen to the last footage and that fan really makes a noise, so I've got it shut off. If I pass out, excuse me. Let's get this carburetor off. And that blue thing you saw on my head, that's a bandana. I'm wearing that as a sweatband because it's that hot and sweaty in here, man. It is. It's nasty. It's really nasty. So the carburetors on these little mowers are really straightforward and simple, and all these Briggs & Stratton have got pretty much the same type of carb on them. They work the same kind of way, and really easy to work on and figure them out. This thing has been standing for a little bit of a while. It's got a lot of corrosion on the cylinder block and the cooling fins and things, and these little screws are quite rusty, but they're coming out just fine. I think we're going to have a good one with this one. Alright, so let's get the cover off. That's just the engine vent. So now the carburetor is completely made of plastic, and it's got that, which is the automatic choke, and then the throttle, which is connected to the governor, which will just keep it running at a constant speed. So let me get my pliers to get the fuel line off. Let's just first check whether we have any. Oh yeah, we've got some gas in there. So we'll clamp that off. There is a bunch of fuel in that line, in the tank. So we'll just do that. They always put these things in the tightest positions possible, don't they? There we go. Well, that's over. Just make sure we get that properly clamped. I don't want it to leak all over my shop. Let's get the fuel pipe off. There we go. That's good. So now the carburetor should pretty much come out of there. There we go. We'll just angle that up and get the choke out. Angle that up. And there we go. And that's the carb. The good thing is, with it being plastic, there's a really good chance that it's not going to be all corroded up and messed up. But let's have a look, see. Let's get the bowl off and see what it says. It did have fuel in it, and the fuel doesn't smell too bad. Remember that the fuel here contains ethanol, and that's a bit of a bad thing, in the sense that it when the fuel is left till it stand for a while, it builds up a varnish kind of layer all over everything, and it's pretty nasty. So messes a lot of stuff up. But on the other hand, if it didn't do that, people wouldn't throw these things away, and I wouldn't be able to pick them up and score them. So, you know, that's just running out of there. Let's just let it drain out. I'd rather let it drain into that little bowl. Let's see, is that showing? I can't see. Where are we? That way I'll be able to see if there's any water in it, because the water will separate out. Alrighty, there we go. Very difficult to tell with the black, with the bowl being black, but that actually looks really, really clean. Now there is a bit of crap that's in my little bowl, but let's just do a few checks here. The first one is I want to make sure that the needle and seat is working. So fuel's going to come in there, and with the float in that the fuel's going to come in there, and with the float in that position, it'll come in. As soon as the bowl fills up, the float will go up and it should shut it off. So let's blow in it. Blowing. Okay, needle and seat is working just fine. Now the main jet's going to go up in there, and this little thing is actually looking really clean. I'm very surprised, to be quite honest. These things are normally badly messed up. I think what happened is it was running just fine, and then the spark plug broke in half for whatever reason, and that was it. Oh, the thing's broken, throw it away. So let's take a wild chance on this thing. Just get that in properly. We don't want it leaking gas out everywhere. And yeah, this is a real-time video, guys. Generally, with the older models that have got the steel carburetors, they do get a lot more gunged up and blocked up than these plastic ones. So that takes a while to get them nice and clean, but this carb's actually looking really good. So let's see if we can take a chance on it. We'll just wipe off the excess dirt there. Alright, so the throttle goes in there. Just hook the choke in there. And then get that back in there. How did that go in there? There, just like that. Alright. I'm being an idiot. Alright, there we go. Let's push the fuel pipe on. Actually, I don't want to do that. I'm going to get something to first check that fuel before I do that. I want to make sure that that fuel's not completely contaminated with all sorts of crap. Alright, so I've got a white container, specifically white so I can see what's happening in there. And there's fuel running through. I think what I'll probably do is just drain it all out and see, and not trust it too much. There you can see it's a pretty good vintage of yellow. I'm not seeing any water separating out in the bottom there. It's actually looking pretty good. So let's give it just a quick try. Let's see. Why not? Time is of the essence, man. Alright, we'll stick that on. We'll stick that there. What I'm going to do is just take all this excess fuel that we have standing around and move it far away. And then let's have a look see. Alright. Let me move you guys back a bit and over there. So it should fire up and it should run. If the battery's strong enough, I know what I did. I didn't release the lever. Okay, so I just got to put a better clamp on here. There we go. Let's fire her up. All right. She runs. Yeah, I know. Very sexy headband. She runs. Now, there's one or two other minor issues with the mower. The one is that the front left wheel doesn't turn.